and we're live streaming. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second office hour call for April, our second office hour call dedicated to Frontend. This is an opportunity for everyone to connect with GitLab team members, community, like-minded people, and discuss about pretty much anything. The format of the call is flexible. We don't have a specific agenda. We can add some topics. We can have a conversation. If anyone has bringing any questions or things they would like to share, more than welcome. But I would like to begin maybe with a round of introductions. Oh, Andrea gets to introduce themselves 2 times. I see them twice, which is nice. Hi, my name is Christos Baharakis. I'm the Code Contributor Program Manager, and I'm responsible. I'm here to help to bridge the gap between community contributors and GitLab team members, trying to help people to contribute to GitLab. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, any feedback about your GitLab contributions, your experience in general, I'm always happy to help and support you. I'm located in Berlin for the past years. I'm Greek, and I love open source.
It's not letting me into my email. It's not letting me into my email because I don't have my phone number. It's not sending a verification to my phone.
Huh? That was
weird.
Huh? Let's continue with a round of introductions. I will go based on the list from Zoom.
Software, we're trading NFTs. That's on.
All right, I think that's about.
Did we?
So I'm gonna stop video and I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna. That's the first time I'm doing that. How do I remove? All right, removed. Submit. All right. I haven't seen that. I don't know.
There's time for everything.
Yeah. Cool. All right. All right. So we're doing a round of introductions for people that are joining now. And next on the list on my Zoom, and Ilya, you're more than welcome to choose another person after you. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, well, my name is Ilya. I'm senior front-end engineer on Managed Import team.
Ilya, there is something with your sound. You're way loud.
Very loud.
That was a good introduction for sure.
Yeah, is it better now?
Yeah. I think there was a wrong microphone. Also
yeah, sorry, it's too many mics around. Okay, my name is Ilya. I'm senior front-end engineer on Managed team, and I'm in Ukraine, Kharkiv. So, well, that's it, at least for now.
Passing it on to.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take it then. I would expect you to pass it on, but I'm just going to drop it. My name is Michael. I'm on the fulfillment team. Been with GitLab for a couple of years. I'm located in Copenhagen, Denmark. Happy to answer any questions. I'm mainly focusing around the purchase flows, but I could probably help you in most of the areas around, especially front end. Natalia, do you want to go next?
Yep, my name is Natalia. I'm staff front-end engineer in Plant team, Vue and GraphQL expert at GitLab, Vue.js core team member. So if you have any questions related specifically to Vue and GraphQL and Apollo, I would be happy to answer. And onto Majid, I'm sorry if you butcher your name. So onto Majid.
Okay, I'm Majid. I'm a senior front-end engineer based here in Cairo, Egypt. And yeah, I'm working with Instabog team. And yeah, that's it.
When it's the next person.
Next,
maybe-
Shadow, I think, if I can pronounce the name right. Shadow.
Yes.
I think.
Or maybe until our microphone, maybe Andre.
Okay.
If you don't want to unmute or speak up, you can always use the chat here. We're doing around the introductions. It's great to get to know each other, and if you have any questions or topics.
Maybe just giving Andre, do you want to introduce yourself? Just giving you another opportunity to do that. Okay, maybe just moving on then.
Oh, we have Satil, or sorry if we're not pronouncing your name. You're muted. Wanted to.
Hi, I am Shahriar Shatil. I am currently learning web development, and I am pretty much completely new to open source. And I have recently been accepted as a Microsoft student ambassador, so that was very exciting for me. And that is where I came to learn about open source and GitLab and more of open source contributions. So I am really looking forward to contributing more to open source, and especially in front-end sector, because I have a little bit of experience in front-end web development, but I'm not sure how to get started with the GitLab front-end contribution. So that is why I joined this meeting today to know more about that. Thank you.
Perfect. So I think we have a clear pathway there. I mean, a clear question or suggestion there from Satil. Anyone from the team would like to, I don't know, say a few words about how to get started contributing to front end, specifically regarding GitLab?
Hi, I had another question that is,
Sure.
if I want to get started with like front-end development internships, so does anyone have any advice for that? Like as in a production level front-end engineer, or like front-end engineering for job sectors, stuff like that. I would like to know more about that too.
Okay, let's first speak about contributions in general, how to contribute to GitLab, specifically to frontend. First of all, when you're looking at issues, I would go with searching by labels. So label frontend, obviously, and also we have a specific label for seeking community contributions, literally this. Usually these issues are handled by front-end engineers. They have a detailed description on how to work on this issue, where to start and what to do. It's a bit easier right now to contribute to front-end. Previously, you would need to install the GitLab development kit, which is a heavy thing, and we're struggling with it ourselves sometimes. Right now, it's not necessary because we have Git pod implemented. So we basically need just one click on the merge request to see your changes working on the environment. So again, just in a short way, labels frontend and seeking community contributions, read the instructions written by frontend engineers, and then try to create a merge request. And if something is unclear, please feel free to ping our front-end engineers, specifically the person usually who created an issue or added the instructions. I know that Ilya has a bunch of these issues and instructions written for them. So passing this on to Ilya, probably he will add more details on this.
Well, 1 second, I'm looking. I've created a small guideline, just a tiny bit more detail and demonstration. It should be somewhere on Unfiltered. Just give me a second to link it in chat right now. Yeah, found it. Regarding the number of issues, unfortunately, I'm not sure I will be able to contribute to this right now. I've had a list of issues prepared since I was promoting the front-end themed month among our community, but right now, actually all these issues were taken and I'm kind of suffering of lack of issues. So no, unfortunately, I do not have like something like a good starter issue to suggest right now. So I could just second your thoughts that keep hunting and keep looking on our labels. So that's it.
Okay,
for the
thank you
video.
for the answer.
Sorry, didn't want to interrupt. Thank you for the video, Leah. I just linked into the agenda. That's really useful, especially using Gitbot, because as Natalia said, like we think sometimes setting up the development environment can be a bit tricky and complicated. So Gitbot is pretty amazing to that. I've also linked search query for finding front-end related issues, which are also linked from our contributing guide as well. If you want more detailed information, you can get them on the contributing guide. Let me just get that as well. Perfect.
Can I suggest something here?
Of course.
For about this one. Yeah, I think in the past, someone from Gitlab team just recorded a video installing. I think back in 2019, installing the GDK, which is a cumbersome. I think I was trying to do this like a lot, and my old machine just didn't handle that one with like issues with the ASDF. I actually I don't know, like I'm not like a guru with the gem thing and all these DevOps things. So I was just like using just MVM and all these stuff. So it gave me like a hard time to do this. I tried to back an issue in the community, and then after I think a 6 month, I found like someone asking about my ticket. This is still happening with you, someone from Gitlab team. So it was like I actually forgot about the contribution itself. So I think Gitbot is helping in this. I like what you did, Michael. Sorry about this. Your video about contributing to GitLab with Gitbot. This is a very cool thing, and I'm asking if we can replicate something like that for GDK, and how to investigate and debug all the issues happening during, especially with the guys with the M1. I just got my new M1 here. So I just found many new issues that it doesn't even documented in the documentations of all these threads. This is just a suggestion if we can do like this in the future.
Yeah, well, actually, when you click Gitbot, you receive a fully working environment. It is fully installed GDK, ready to be used. The video I've linked was just about, it is named front-end development, just because I focused on some front-end specific stuff in terms of which CSS classes we use and so on and so on. But basically, right now, it is a miracle. You hit one button, Gitbot, and you receive a fully working GDK setup with all possible commands and so on and so on. Like there is no difference from having GDK setup locally. So it is also suitable for backend development too.
Yeah, I think it's very useful. It's like up and running quickly. But for someone like me who has like my custom shortcuts on VS Code, I'm just trying to do this thing like locally more than that. But it's okay, totally fine with the Gitbot.
Gitbot can also connect and use your Visual Studio Code which installed locally. So you will actually it can do both.
I think this is nice. Okay, let me try this one.
Hi, I had another question. That is, if I started contributing to this front-end sector of GitLab, and let's say this is monthly based, right? So for each month, there is a topic for open source contributions, like front-end for April, then there's back-end, then there's DevOps. So let's say I start contributing to a front-end open source project on GitLab, but then I can still keep contributing to it even after April, right?
Yes, of course. The idea of the themed months is that to focus to actually highlight a contribution area every month for getting for diving more into this area, providing more support into this, and also getting together like-minded individuals, contributors in a way that they can support each other. We can provide more support. So yeah, that. Next month doesn't mean that you're not you can contribute to any contribution area at any given time, and your contribution values has the same weight every month, regardless the focus area that we might have this month.
Okay, thank you.
For the newcomers, hi Ruben, hi Marco. Marco left a comment here, so I'm pasting again the agenda document into the chat. We're talking about contributing to Frontend. We also did a really brief introduction. There are some notes in the document. Also, let me vocalize Andre's introduction, whose microphone is not working. Andre is working with Java and Golang development, now more focused on open source and DevOps, CloudFront, React, and Angular, and is based in Brazil. Welcome. So yeah, Marco, if you want to do an introduction, your audio is not working, but if you want to write a small introduction, more than welcome. Ruben as well, if you want to unmute or have an introduction. And if there is any specific questions that you might have, I see Marco here that you're actually in the process of contributing in Frontend, which is exciting. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free. We're here to address anything or discuss about everything. The goal of this office hour call is to get together, talk about one specific topic or more. I mean, we're not forced to talk about Frontend. We can talk about DevOps in general. So yeah, but we have amazing GitLab team members here who work in Frontend. So if you have any specific questions, more than welcome. And while people are writing, there's a question. Pajamas storybook. What is the difference?
Yeah, I wrote this question. I think Natalia last time talked about the pajama, about storybook and design system in GitLab. So I just took a look about in pajamas, and I was asking why you're using like two different systems, not different. It's like two management systems for your design system. I was asking about that.
It's not really different systems. Pajamas works as just as a specification in general. It's not there is no implementation details in Pajamas. It's basically a spec where we describe what we want to see. And we use Storybook for visualization of this spec. So implementation layer is GitLab UI, basically. And we write stories in Storybook for GitLab UI to have a demo and have this somehow implemented on a technical level. Pajamas is basically just a text document if we speak about it strictly. And why it's this way, I don't think I can answer. Like, it's just historically, it was this way. We had the pajamas, we had implementations, GitLab UI, we added the storybook to have it super visual. So you could play around it, add props, add different attributes to the elements and see how it changes data. So something like that.
Okay, I think another question regarding that's one. How are you gonna adopt like the Vue 3, the new migration to Vue 3, like as a team? Do you have? I know you for sure you have a plan for this. I was just asking about how you can like approach this for like a big team. I think I can see like Michael is laughing. Michael,
He's laughing because I was answering this question twice over this day, not on these contributor meetings. It's just a coincidence. It's like it wasn't answered in probably half of a year, but then like today it was probably the day of U3. Okay, I will repeat, and Ilya, please feel free to fix me if I'm saying it wrong, because we had this conversation yesterday as well. So steps. First, this is on Ilya, is we need Bootstrap Vue to work with Vue 3 compatibility build. Currently, it's not working. It was kind of abandoned by the previous maintainer. So Ilya took over, and right now he is acting as a maintainer of Bootstrap Vue, trying to move it to the compatibility stage with Vue 3 and compat build. This is somewhere close to finish, but how close? Like this I leave to Ilya. As soon as I will pass the word after, just quick description. After we have Bootstrap Vue working, we will need to migrate the GitLab UI to work with the Bootstrap with new compat version of Bootstrap Vue with compatibility build. Again, if everything goes super nice and smoothly, we will probably have this in around 3 months. This is more scalable for the team because previous stages like very bottlenecked right now. GitLab UI, yes, this will be probably distributed for the team and we will be working on this migration together. And after this, if GitLab UI is working smoothly with compatibility build, we will need to migrate our main code base, which has a bunch of issues right now. For example, VTU, so our testing library, we need to ensure that our tests are compatible with Vue 3. Vue router, there will be a few issues in this field as well. Vuex will be probably quite easy to migrate. Same for Vuepol. So our dependencies, I didn't test Vue Druggable, by the way. I'm not sure it's working. I know there is a version for Vue 3. I'm not sure it's working with compat build somehow. So then we will probably try to check our dependencies. And after this, we will split probably by team and by application, because luckily we have multiple applications. So we can play with applications around. And how much time and how complex this will be, it's very hard to estimate. It depends how it goes. We have many dark areas in the code base, and I'm not sure how they go through migration. Ilya, please add something.
Yeah. Actually, you've described it that pretty correct. Right now, the minutes before this call, I was working exactly on Vue 3 version of Bootstrap Vue, which is a major pain point for us, like you mentioned, because it is a blocker. Yeah, and I'm also like the matter of having Bootstrap Vue working with Vue 3 compat build is a matter of days, let's say a week or a couple of weeks from now. But from there will be a very, very long journey to have GitLab UI fully working. So basically, yeah, and I can't put any stakes or any wild guess how long it will affect the entire code base.
Wow, this is a bit challenging.
It is the most challenging thing I've ever tackled in my front-end developer experience, at least for now.
Okay, would you go over TypeScript or just view as is?
It is for
I'm
now.
complicating this question right now.
No. There was a big discussion, and there are supporters and opposition to TypeScript in GitLab. There is no decision, but well, for now we will definitely stick just to JavaScript because there is a rule: you should touch just one thing at once. Changing the Vue major version is enough pain than adding TypeScript meanwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's like minimal changes. So no TypeScript, no composition API until we have everything up and running, and probably even not in compat build, but in a proper migrated state. And after this, we can start introducing new things.
It's nice. Good luck. I think I don't know if you're gonna open source some of these tasks to the community so we can support in this, but it will be a very good thing to do so.
As soon as we have the thing where we are in clear understanding what to do, we will be really happy to have any help from any community, because right now, that perfect time of engineering work when you are just dealing with all the problems you could and could not imagine around, with no precise estimate when it will be ready. So right now we are still figuring a proper implementation plan to proceed, not just with even wider community. I can't give any plan even to my colleagues, unfortunately, right now, because it is a thing of extremely unknown complexity. We are just at stage, let's discover what to do.
Also, jumping in here a little bit, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you're trying to set up the full development kit, and you had some troubles with the M1 chip. I believe there's been some work done on this already. I don't know how old this issue is, but if the Git pod scenario doesn't work for you for one reason or another, first of all, we'd like to know why that doesn't work for you. Second of all, if you end up trying to set it up again, could you share the issue that you were looking at? Maybe just ping us there, and we can make sure to follow up and see if we can get it resolved for you.
Sure. Okay. Right now. Okay. For now, just that was I think a month ago. So I just ditched this version. So let's I'll try again, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be happy to solve this one. I think Gitbot has just worked for me just as well. But I do do things in my own setup and stuff like that. So once Ilya mentioned I can customize VS Gitbot just to be in my VS code, so I will try this out. But before that, I will give another shot to the JDK, and I really would be happy if we can do something in this channel, if we can do this in live stream, installing this, debugging this together. I'm really happy to do so if anyone want to collaborate in this.
Sure, whatever you prefer. It sounds like Gitpod would probably be the easiest, but whatever you feel more comfortable with, I think you should go with. And I think in any case, we'll be happy to support.
Thanks.
I'm trying to get the video. I think there is an extensive video on how to install GTK to your local environment. Which is new, actually. Not there's one that's 3 years old, but I think there's another one new. I'm trying to get it. In the meantime, there is a question from Marco whether there are any known problems for GTK not working on M1, because they're getting an M1 MacBook, and it would be a bummer. If anyone knows that.
A few team members are working on M1s, and there will be more working in June when we have update of our laptops in Europe as well. And from what I recall, there is no specific issues on GDK on M1. So everything is working. Maybe there are some individual hiccups, but generally, no, there is no general issues.
Great. I've also been out for a little while, so my information might be a little bit dated. Pardon that.
Thank you. I'm just still checking for the, yeah. Come again. Sorry, I was playing a video on YouTube and I heard the noise and I thought it was from this call because I'm trying to get the video from the SDK. Let me check the document while I'm trying to find the video. Are there any questions, anything else we'd like to discuss? Feel free to type them on the chat or in the document or vocalize them here.
Yes, I was asking that how long will this program last? Like the total program, like front end month, back end month. Will this be like every year or just for this year especially?
Quick question. I mean, this is an experiment to see whether it's actually started as an experiment. We would like to continue doing it for the next months, but the overall goal is not to create all this necessary support mechanisms for every contribution area, regardless if it's like a focused month or it's not. Have office hour calls where we can actually be able to surface questions that we get from community and give answers. So we'd like to continue office hour calls, sometimes with themes, sometimes without themes. So generally, contributing to GitLab is something that is not going to stop, and we don't want it to stop. We're running different initiatives every few months. We have the themed month for April. Next month, like in 2.5 weeks, we have the hackathon coming up, the Gitlab Hackathon, which I linked to the agenda as well. It's a 5 days hackathon with prizes around 5 contribution areas: frontend, backend, security, website, and technical writing. So it's an opportunity for you to work on a little challenge, let's say, in a way that working on existing issues and solving them, and every MR counts towards getting some points and being awarded with some prizes. But yeah, we're looking into different ways to engage with community. So the short question is that we're going to continue doing a lot of initiatives in the next months. Whether it's going to be a themed month or not, it's up to discussion, but probably we're going to continue doing something similar.
Okay, thank you. So you talked about the hackathon, GitLab hackathon. So will that hackathon also consist of front-end open source part as well?
Yes, it's going to have 5 contribution areas: front-end, back-end, technical writing, security, and website. So people are invited to contribute to these 5 contribution areas, and we're going to award prizes, and we're going to identify winners on these 5 different contribution areas. So if you want to contribute to front-end, you contribute to front-end. If you want to contribute to both, you contribute to 2 areas. You contribute to front-end and back-end. There are not any restrictions. And how we count the winners is based on the number of MRs that you open and have them merged by the end of next month, because you have 1 week to open your merge request, but of course it's taking us some time to review your merge request and have it merged. So normally it's like around the month by the end of the hackathon. So the hackathon is going to end on the 12th of May, and it's going to take us 1 month to review the MRs and having merged, and then we're going to announce the winners by June, mid-June. Any other questions, topics, thoughts?
So the winners will be selected on the basis of merge requests, right?
Merge request merged.
Accepted.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I
Yes.
understand.
Correct. And also, sorry, just to mention something, merge request merged that are contributing to an existing issue. On the hackathon page that is linked to the agenda doc, there is a list of issues that we're inviting participants to contribute to. So when you open an MR, your MR is going to count 5, it's going to gather 5 points if it's contributing to an issue that it's highlighted in our hackathon page.
Okay, thanks for telling me that. Can I get connected with all of you on like Twitter or maybe on any other platform?
So we have a connection, a mechanism for all the community. I'm gonna link it here. We have Gitter. Gitter is a platform that it's an online synchronous chat. I'm putting it here as well. So this is where our whole community and GitLab team members get together. So if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, or you would like to anything, you need help or support, you can check that. There are also clients for your laptop or your mobile device, but also works on the web, on the browser. So you can get in there, ask any question, and connect with anyone from a GitLab, either community or team member.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions, thoughts, feedback?
I think this question is not like for contribution. It's about your culture as a remote team, like working together, and how you maintain like your team spirit and stuff like that. Especially, I know this is started for us like with like the pandemic, like in 2019. So that was challenging for all of us. So how you maintain like team spirit across all these like time?
That's a great question. I can give a first stop and then I invite anyone else to. So for me, it's like 1.5 years working on remote. And I think the most important thing that is working well and working across the organization is like the handbook, because there is all the information is there. Like we have this handbook on the website. It's like all the information, all the necessary information about internal processes, about how we're working. It's there, how we communicate, best practices, it's there. Another thing that also, it's not necessarily about the team spirit, but also how you collaborate asynchronously is like we use GitLab issues. And it's like the first time I organized a hackathon, I was amazed. I just opened a GitLab issue. I started tagging people, which I didn't know. And I was like, hey, I'm organizing the hackathon for the first time. Can you help me highlight some issues? And the next day I went to bed, and the next day I had a bunch of comments. People were like collaborating, which is super nice. And in terms of team spirit, we have weekly team meetings with our teams. And also there are some coffee chats that we are organizing. There is a bot that every 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, connect you with a random GitLab team member, where you get the opportunity to meet. It's from different department, and you connect, you get to know them about other people, or you reach out, or you can reach out to individuals and be like, hey, I'm Christos, I would like to have a coffee chat because I would like to get to know you more, or your job, or things like that. So it's more about, the remote one, asynchronous one, which is amazing how we do that using our tools and processes that are in place, but the human aspect was like through weekly calls, team calls, and also opportunities to connect. For example, there's mental health calls about, doing some meditation together, everyone. So I'll pause here and I'll give it to someone else too, if they want to add their experiences.
I would say that lockdown issues are not they're general. We have the same at GitLab. We have the same issues because the part of our activities like meeting other team members, travel grants, and probably the most importantly, contribute the GitLab event were also canceled. And it was quite hard on the team, like to miss all these opportunities to meet other team members. Right now they are back and it's much easier because we have our team meetings in real life. I mean, I'm in Amsterdam, I'm lucky. A big part of the team is here, so it's easy to meet them. But also I'm not sure we have travel grants back, but contributors back. So there will be a huge meeting of the whole GitLab team in August. And this also helps a lot because despite the fact we are remote, enjoying real life interactions is something important. Anyone else about remote? If not, I will jump to the answer to the question I see in the chat. So if you have something that changes big part of the UI UX, okay, I can voice it. So first of all, like what UI changes workflow should be like. If the changes are big, if they're visual, like what is the workflow for the community contributor to go through this? So first of all, I would recommend finding out the product manager and UX designer of the team that owns the part you want to work on. In this case, it's easy. You plan to work on the time tracking, and time tracking is Plum. So the team I work for, our product manager is Kate Weaver. So pinging the PM and UX. If you're not sure who are the PM and UX, pinging core team member or any kind of front-end contributor, back-end contributor, whoever you know is fine. They would need to find out and tell you who are the PM and UX. Then you would need to discuss the changes you want to make with UX and PM. Both is better. They will tell you what is working, what is not working, what should be the flow, what changes do they need. And as soon as you have the approval from both of them, it's a good moment to start working, because if you start working without the UX approval, you will be most likely disappointed with the review process where they will still ask you to make changes. So ping UX, ping PM, have an approval. And after this, I see that someone told you that your changes are big. Yes, so we are following the iterative process. So you would need to split your work on the smaller chunks because huge amounts are super hard to review. So splitting it and delivering it step by step is something that we strongly encourage, if not require.
Might I jump in here and say a good way to splitting big changes into smaller bits is, first of all, trying to think in logical changes, but also feature flags can be a really good help in terms of iterating your changes, and it'll make the process of landing your changes a lot easier because small chunks you'll get landed faster and you'll iterate on it and learn more as you go. So once your changes land, it doesn't mean that it's final. Like you can always go ahead and make other changes to it. So I hope that that will give you some points on how to iterate on your big changes.
You should think of them as feature. Sorry, I didn't get the first part. Miguel, I didn't catch your first part. You said you're like think of them as a feature.
Feature flags, using feature flags.
I cannot hear you. Oh.
Is that better? Sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I was mentioning using feature flags in order to ship part finished feature. So you can wait with rolling out the feature and making it visible or active in the application using a feature flag. So guarding your code behind that will help you iterate.
I'd like to add something here. Like when in the first part of the question that Natalia just said, it's going to the product member and just talk with them about this thing. is I think introducing the problem is a very big part of the thing before even like introducing a new solution for this. So in the last year, I was working with my team in something I wanted to change, and it wasn't that like a big deal, but it was something I didn't like about the workflow and how we're shipping our code. So I was just like discussing in our team members, like in our meeting, this thing. So I think the guys, they didn't know, like, you know, we know this is like an issue, but it's not like that. So after that, like about 2 months, someone come with the same solution I got with, but he's like he did like a very good presentation for the problem. He just like enlisted the issues, what happened, where the pain points we have, what he think if we did this thing. He did like a mini, like a POC, like a proof of concept, how this should work. And then like that, every single person was like cheering for him, like, this is a good one. Like what was the difference? I just like did the same thing, but it was like the way how I should like introduce the solution to my team. And as just like going to the person who was responsible for this change before, discussing with him what do you think, making like a proof of concept of the solution that you want. And whenever it's something like visual, if you have a design for this thing, I think this is all like a helper tools that like proofing your idea is robust and like more applicable for that. So you're just like giving the team like a very good example to not say no about this change.
I'm gonna voice Marco's follow-up. He's saying with big, in quotes, changes. However, I didn't mean a huge MR with all the changes, but something more like making some changes, wait for the feedback from the users, then move on. Using feature flags would be a right way, or the right way, I suppose. And to that, I probably would respond that sounds great. That sounds like a great approach. Also might use feature flags to expose the feature to only some users and receive the feedback from those. Internally, we usually ship the features for only the GitLab repository and then test out the features there. And then receive feedback on the feature this way, because then we start using it internally first.
All right. Any other questions? Normally at GitLab, we finish our meetings before the hour, just to give time for everyone to get some water, refresh, and get ready for their next meetings. So if there are no other questions, we can, I'll pause for 30 seconds or less, for 30 seconds. It's going to be a long silent pause. I would like to take this opportunity and thank you all for joining. Thank you all. It was a really nice call, a lot of great stuff. There's going to be a recording. We're streaming live right now on YouTube on the Filter channel, but there's going to be a recording. It's going to be shared across among the community. Thank you all for the amazing questions, energy, and also responses and support. You all. It was great seeing you all. Reminders, Gitter. You can reach out to us at any time on Gitter. The link, I'm gonna insert it here again, but also it's on the contributing guide, how to get help. There is a hackathon happening beginning of in the 9th of May. Looking forward to see you, and we will be hosting more office hour calls the week of the hackathon, and 2 more office hour calls for sure in May, 1 in the week of the hackathon and 2 weeks afterwards. We're all gonna be publishing all of them in our events page at GitLab and also on our meetup group. So thank you all for joining. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Have a great GitLab day.
Thank you.